Hey there everyone, this is Bumpookle. Let's get back to playing Defiant a Maiden. Also, I'm sure some of you noticed that I have a cursor. Okay, so anyways, yeah, back to playing this game. Now, before we head to the next dungeon, let's actually deal with some equipment, now that we actually have items. Also, we have Marissa. First thing is first, we're gonna want to give Reimu the longsword here. Well, hang on. Let me go ahead and demonstrate something here. Alright. I might as well go ahead and explain the stats. Now, you obviously have a lot of stats here. I'm aware that this is an overwhelming number of stats. I was once upon a time in that area too. Therefore, I'm just going to walk you through what each of these stats does. And that's where handy dandy cursor comes into play. Also, yes, that is a total cursor. That is Yuka. I am a big fan of Yuka. Not in this game, though. Yuka's an asshole in this game. Anyways. So this stat right here, this first stat right here, that is your character's attack power. Your character's physical attack power. As we can see, Reimu is 141, and if we give her the longsword, then she'll have 163. This is your physical defense. Reimu was 115 beforehand. With the longsword, she has 124. This stat right here is called the physical barrier. Barrier is where it'll take like a number right here, and then it'll divide it by 10. And then all damage of that particular type will then be reduced by that number. So for example, if I had 100 right here in my physical barrier stat, all physical damage would be reduced by 10%. This is your magic attack. It functions like your physical attack. This is your magic defense, behaves like your physical defense, and this is your magic barrier, which behaves like this as well. This item, or this stat right here, is your spiritual barrier. Spiritual barrier is like this and this combined, as in this number right here applies to all types of attacks. So there are very few items in the game that add this stat, and typically when they do add this stat, it's usually not by a large amount, mostly because it impacts every attack in the game. This second column here, this is accuracy. This is evasion. This is your status ailment resistance. This is your physical attack crit rate. This is your magical attack crit rate. Yeah, there's two different crit rates. This is your short range deflection chance. This is your long range deflection chance, and this is your magic deflection chance. Now, the way deflecting works is that it kind of uses the same formula as your barriers over here, but deflecting, it's more like, I'll just give you an example. Okay, this one right here is the short range one. If an enemy is going to be using a short range attack on me, like a sword attack or something, then I have, in this case, a 15% chance of deflecting the attack. Deflecting, it basically negates the damage. This is not to be confused with reflecting, which we'll see later. So yeah, these numbers right here, they just deal with deflecting attacks. Third column, this one right here is move speed. It basically determines turn order. This one is cast speed. It's also used in determining turn order. This number right here determines the amount of MP that you use per attack. This number right here is your MP restoration rate. This number and this number, I don't really think they're very important. This number has something to do with like your willpower, or like something to do with resisting like resisting interruption or something. And this one deals with like your recovery rate against status effects. This one right here, this stat and this stat are ridiculously important. This stat right here is your current weight limit. All items in this game have a weight, and you can't go above your weight limit. This item right here is your weight limit. So as we can see, Reimu's current weight is 5, and her maximum weight limit is 184. If we give her the longsword, then her weight will become 126. Now obviously over here we have HP, Strength, Vitality, Dex, Agility, Intelligence, and Pot. So basically, yeah, these numbers right here, they're okay. Every number in this column, and this column, except this one, this one, and these three, are all affected by stats over here. So for example, like, you know, having more strength will, as a result, boost your attack damage, and so on. And the bonuses that you would see provided by, like, an individual item or something like that, they'll have greater impact in that particular stat with a character that has a higher stat value for that corresponding stat, as opposed to, like, a lower one. For example, like, you know, we see that the range between the default, or the current, and the improvement on Reimu's attack power with the longsword is 22. If we take a quick look at Marissa, it is only 16. And Marissa has 2 strength while Reimu is 19. So therefore, that pretty much concludes, like, the stats. Let's take a quick look over here. This one right here deals with, like, the element of the attack. This one deals with the number of uses. This is the attack's weight. This is the attack power of the attack, which is like a modifier. This one is, I believe, the amplification rate. I'm not quite sure what the amplification rate technically does. This is the accuracy of the attack. It's also factored in with your own character's accuracy to decide if you actually hit or not. This one right here is the attack's crit rate. It is factored in with the crit rate of your character as well. This right here is the base MP value that it consumes. As we can see, the longsword takes 0 MP. I don't remember what this value is, and this value deals with, like, the speed of which the attack has. The closer to 0 the attack is, the faster it goes. Now you see how, like, the longsword has 400? This is the reason Slash Falcon's so bloody awesome, because it has freaking 1. Freaking 1. There's, like, a formula I read in the manual earlier today that dealt with this value, where it was like, you take the value here and you multiply it by 10, and that gets you the delay, or, like, the amount of delay or something like that when you go in to select a thing, and it's basically used in turn order. So therefore, you know, you compare freaking 10 to 4,000. Yeah, Slash Falcon, definitely faster. I don't remember what this stat is either. This stat deals with, like, whether the attack requires concentration or not. This value is either going to be 0, 1, or 2. Attacks with 0 do not require concentration. Attacks with 1 require concentration, and if you get hit, you'll sometimes be knocked into... I guess you could say it'll break your concentration, and that's why you had that concentration resistance stat as well. And then 2 is where it requires a lot of concentration, and if you get hit, there's a high chance that it'll break your concentration by default. Now, this stat right here deals with, like... Okay, the stat translates to something like control or something, but it deals with, like, how easy or hard it is to use the move. And that kind of goes from 0 to 10. It's either 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. Anyways, the closer it is to 0, the easier it is to use. So we can see how, like, Slash Falcon here is 1 of 2. This one has 0, so yeah, it goes to 0 to 10, and 0 is very easy, while the Stream Laser over here has 5, so it's like medium difficulty. In all honesty, I have no idea what this stat is, because the manual skipped over it. Let's see here. I'm not sure what this stat is either, but this one tells you the... I think this one might actually tell you the range of the attack. Either that, or it's over here. But anyways, this one tells you, like, whether it's a single target, a multi-target, a splash, etc., etc. Slash Falcon here is a single target, that's a single target. Single. This is a row attack. That's a single target. This is an attack that I believe has, like, some kind of weird great range or something. and so like it hits enemies in both rows, and it hits more than one enemy, but it doesn't hit all the enemies on the screen. Reimu's color balls here, they have an example of full screen. This one here is an example of single target with splash. I believe that's everything. So let's just go ahead and start setting up equipment. We're going to give Reimu the longsword, we're going to give her the Slash Falcon, and we're going to give her this thing. Sounds pretty good to me. Now Marissa over here has lots of stuff. This is Master Spark, this is a single target magic attack, this is... Okay, this is basically this. In terms of what it does. It just has different stats, like pertaining to its uses and its weight and damage and everything, but for all intents and purposes its function is the same. This is a row attack. This is a pierce attack, as in like it'll hit enemies that are in like a straight up and down line. This is a single target fire attack. This is a single target water attack. This is a single target I want to say wind attack. This is a single target earth attack. This is a single target magic attack? No, this is a full screen magic attack, sorry. This is a single target... Oh, this is the magician staff or something, or magic staff, whatever. This is an accessory, that's an accessory, blah blah blah. Okay, let's go ahead and give Marissa the Starfire and the Shadow Bolts. Okay, so by process of deduction, we can figure out that this is like the Fire Bolt. This is, for all intents and purposes, a Cold Bolt. This is the Lightning Bolt. And this is... I guess I'm going to call this the Earth Bolt, even though I definitely know that this is not what it's called. Therefore, I will probably refer to them as such. I believe we're set up. Yeah, we're set up. Alright. We're gonna save, and then we're gonna head on. And... okay. So, yeah, we cleared that area, and this is the shrine. What's next, you might be wondering? I believe it's over here. This. We're going to the city. Oh man. Japanese text. Okay. Now is as good a time as any to explain on-field abilities. Oh, hello mouse cursor. So yeah, you can see down there in the bottom right that I have a map. This is Reimu's on-field ability. You can access it by, on default keyboard control, is V. Now, you can also switch characters, therefore you get access to different on-field abilities. Marissa's here will tell you how many chests are in the area still. As you've not noticed, or in case you didn't notice, all on-field abilities that are not Reimu's have a monetary usage fee. However, it'll still let you use them even if you have zero money. Isn't that nice? Oh man, it's an enemy up there. So yeah, now we're just gonna go around and we're gonna try and find some chests, because items are always nice. You're not gonna come out, are you? Fine. Ooh, 6 enemies. Okay. These fan things. Okay, well, because we're gonna have fun with this, we're gonna use full screens. I'm so glad Marissa comes with the default full screen. Ooh, something just paralyzed me, I think. No, what? Oh, it's a fan attack. Yeah. Moving on.